Good afternoon, keepers of the cash. Gary B, the casual comic guy here, guys, and today we are doing a series review of Domino, followed up by Hotshots. One series leads right into the other. One series is 10 issues in an annual, and the second series is 5 issues. So we got 16 total issues, and well, we're going to start out with the players. So we have Domino, and her little knocking. So then we have Outlaw, and her name is Inez Temple, and we have Diamondback, who is Rachel Layton. All right, and this is like her kind of her surrogate family, the family she's adopted, the new team she's formed. They call themselves a posse, and really good stuff. So we're going to talk about main themes. First, we're going to talk about the cover art, and the cover art, mostly Greg Land covers, absolutely gorgeous and amazing. And we do have a couple covers in the back, and those are by Gang Hyuk Lim. That's issues 9 and 10. And those are absolutely stunning covers as well. All right, you got Shang-Chi there on the cover with Domino. Good couple issues with him in there. Domino and the bad guys. There, you got Prototype and Topaz up there. And again, Greg Land just killed these covers. Absolutely amazing covers. This next one is one of my favorites. I mean, just look at this cover here with Morbius. That cover is just a stunner. There's nothing that's not gorgeous about that. All right, here we go. Gang Hyuk Lim. Absolutely beautiful. We got a couple of that one. All right, got another one by him with a long shot on the cover with Domino. The two luck people canceling their luck out. And of course, you had the Greg Land cover for the annual, the one and only annual. So the covers, you get A+ all the way. The covers are absolutely stunning and amazing, and there's no reason to give them a grade lower. They're just outstanding. So I got to give the covers an A+. So we're going to go with the writing. The writing in this book is by Gail Simone. She writes both series, and Gail Simone is very hit and miss with me. I thought her Red Sonja run was absolutely horrid. I didn't connect with it. It took a character that I really liked and made her not feel like that character at all to me. But what I can tell you about this is I held off on reading Domino a while because Gail Simone was a writer. And that was my mistake because this is A+ writing all the way through here. She has a firm hold on each and every one of these characters. They all tie in great together. And the interactions feel genuine and they feel great. And with her two adopted family members, right? With Outlaw and Diamondback. And the interactions with the villains, and they feel threatening. They feel like and there's more behind them than just face value. So all that really adds to the central story and really helps push it forward. The pacing in this series is great. There's no pacing issues with either this 10 issues in the annual and the 5-issue Hot Shots. No pacing issues at all. It's written well. It moves right along, but it doesn't linger. It doesn't go too fast. It doesn't go too slow. Everything about it feels just right. This is really a top tier series to me. I really, really loved reading this. So, interior art in both series is done by David Baldian. I hope I said his name right. David Baldian. He did a really good job. The art grew on me. I found some of the art a little okay, and he did have some assist in a couple issues with other fill-in artists, but most of the series, the interior art is by David Baldian, and I give his art a B+. It was a little just off the A tier for me, but I still really enjoyed it, and it didn't pull me out of the story. Now let's get to the story and the plot. I'm not going to spoil stuff in either one of these series for you guys. I want you to seek these out. I want you to read them for yourself. This series is that good, okay? I can't say enough about it. And the reason I'm so up on this series is it's a writer that I didn't really care for before, and her writing was so good in the series it made me a fan of her now. So that's saying something. I'll still never like the Red Sonja run, but that's in the past. This is fantastic. So I'm gonna just read because I wanted to write stuff down that I didn't want to forget, stuff that's important. So the overarching theme of both of these series obviously is about Domino. It's about her understanding and acceptance of self. It's her new acceptance of her new family, and garnering a greater understanding of her chaos and luck powers. She has these powers which have guided her through life. She doesn't fully understand them. She knows they're there. She gets a feeling. She tells you about that feeling in the book, and I'll leave those descriptions for her to tell you when you read it. But she doesn't have a full understanding of them. She's not connected to them. She knows they're there. She knows that they'll pull her bacon out of the fryer, but there's more she could connect with those powers. And that ties in with the Shang-Chi issues when he's trying to teach her focus. And her need to understand her powers ties in with the two central villains of the first 6 issues of this run, which have to do with the villains Topaz, who's just really bad, and Prototype, who has a connection to Domino's past, and it's a intense, odd connection, and there's a little back and forth between him and Domino. That's not either one of their faults. They're both victims, 2 victims that went in different directions, and that gets tied up in certain ways and written in ways that are incredible. Okay, and so we talked about the theme, the acceptance of self, the understanding of self, the acceptance of her new family, and the trust, and the building the trust with the new family, and the understanding of her chaos and luck powers. Along with that, though, Domino's struggling with that control. She's struggling with her self-image, and with the mental and physical abuses that have visited upon her in her past, and even in her present. All right, she's a mutant, and she gets all that mutant hate from people who don't want to take the time to understand someone that's different than them, and from people in her past that experimented on her. And everyone that sees Domino sees her as this beauty. Domino doesn't see herself that way. She sees herself as a victim. And the patch, or the pip, as it represents on her face, right, of a domino. Everyone thinks that's cool. Domino doesn't. That was forced upon her. You'll learn how. You'll learn why. And to her, it's just it's a mark of her being victimized. And so every time she sees it, it's a daily reminder of this past pain and torture. This sense of loss of control where she couldn't defend herself and she couldn't do something. So she's got a lot of issues to work through in these 2 series. And Domino working through those issues really pushes the narrative forward. And again, it's due to the strength of Gail Simone's writing. Absolutely fantastic in this. But that is the central themes, right? So we had to talk about them. That's all I'm going to delve into. So you get a second story arc, issues 7 through 10, which have to deal with a new character that's introduced, and her superhero name is Atlas Bear, and her name is Shun Kwa. She's Wakandan. She's an exile. And she has a power where she sees the end of things. She inherited this this great bear that died. It was the last of its kind, and it could see the end of its species. And Shunqua has inherited this power, and it falls upon her to end these threats to humanity when she sees them, which brings her in contact and hiring Domino, and a confrontation with Morbius and some other players. And you guys will see how that turns out. I'm not going to spoil it. The Morbius issues are fun. They're good. And the writing, again, spectacular. The interactions between the team and Morbius is just incredible. and I can't say enough good things about it. So, of course, so that's those first 10 issues, right? They deal with Domino, real name Nina Thurman, her her teammates Outlaw, Inez Temple, Diamondback, Rachel Layton, and then their other becoming a teammate, Atlas Bear, who is Shunqua. All right, so that's it in a nutshell. All right, so once you get into the Hotshot series, and we'll show those covers real quick, the storyline changes a bit. So we got Hotshots #1. We got Hotshots #2. And as you can see, Deadpool Wade Wilson becomes part of the storyline. All right, ooh, that's still #3. All right, Hotshots #3. Hotshots #4. Sorry, I got doubles of some of these. And of course, Hotshots #5. So this deals the main storyline in this, and that's driving the narrative forward, is something called the Creation Constellation. It's fallen to Earth. It's infected a scientist, and it starts infecting the team. She's contacted by the Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff, but Domino's no fool. She brought back up in the form of Amy Han, the White Fox, a South Korean superhero. They all end up teaming up together. They get a little help from Tony Stark and Rhodey, and it's their job to prevent humanity from being voted not worthy by this celestial constellation, the Creation Constellation. There's cosmic powers that are dealt with here, and it's a storyline you didn't expect, but a storyline that fits these characters incredibly well. Again, aptly written by Gail Simone. So that's just a quick overview of Domino and the Hotshots. Like I said, I want to review. I don't want to tell you what happens. I gave you the central themes. Domino's got to find and overcome her struggle with her sense of self and her self-esteem, her self-image, with learning to trust her new family. She loves them, but she's got to learn to trust them more. Being a leader, overcoming this, the scars from her past, the abuses that were inflicted upon her. Domino's got a lot on her plate, and that plate's always full, it's always present, and the character is always advancing in the story because of what she's experienced and what she's currently experiencing. And it's this driving theme and narrative of self-discovery, self-analyzation, connecting one's powers and self that drive both of these there's 3 different story arcs, but drive all 3 story arcs to their conclusions. And you get a real great sense of who Domino is, and it's a joy. It's an absolute joy to go through this series. But that's where I'm going to leave it. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I hope you guys pick up this series. It's absolutely worth your time and money. So this series definitely gets an A+ from me, and until next time, guys, keep it casual.